after meeting Ida, Harald has changed a lot and they hope it's just a phase. However, 4 years have passed now. It's 105 years ago, yet Harald is still on this new path of understanding the world. He has realized that they have committed countless sins in their ignorance, so it's time to atone for them. My man starts studying diplomacy, saying that diplomatic exchange is basically like a fancy hostage deal, but this very exchange of people allows nations to build connections with each other. The change in Elbaf has been going on for 23 years as we move to 81 years ago. Ida has just given birth to Hajrudin, which is kinda shocking, I'm not gonna lie. You telling me Harald was busting blanks for 20 plus years? Sadly, due to Ida having no ancient blood or even being from Elbaf, the elders don't approve of their marriage. Also, I'm not gonna lie, the way they have like shown the elders like being all like blacked out silhouettes, I'm low-key thinking that King Harald didn't want to join the world government like 14 years ago, but then the elders, they're the reason that Loki got framed and Harald got killed, because they wanted to join the Holy Land. They wanted to like make Elbaf be part of the world, just like what Harald wanted, but Harald didn't want to make a deal with the devil, but they wanted to make the deal with the devil. Furthermore, I saw a lot of people hating on Harald for not fighting to make Ida his queen. However, bro needs all the political capital he can get to make changes in Elbaf. Remember, he is literally trying to make Elbaf great again, and to do this, he will need to appease the elders and the other higher ups that rule over the different villages in Elbaf. Ida is okay with this as she too wants to change things for Elbaf and understands that their feelings alone won't bring this change. So now enters King Harald's new wife.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
I'm being serious right now, guys. She might be the hottest girl in One Piece. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Look at her.
Sensational.
Don't let her looks fool you though, because I can fix her, but you can't, okay? You can't, so eyes off. Lady Estid comes from a prominent family in the north and is a student of the earth wind arts, while also carrying the ancient island polar blood, which shows as she is similar in size to Harald, while Ida was like 10 meters tall, which is insane to think about, by the way. Like, her size is even smaller than average giants. Like, how does the mechanics of conceiving Hajrudin happen? But Ida's size is likely smaller due to giants from outside of Elbaf mating with humans and her blood being diluted. That's why Hajrudin doesn't show any ancient blood even though his father had some. Instantly, Estid is in love with Harald. She tells him to forget about Ida and her bastard son, which is pretty cruel. Like, my man just had a son. What did he do to you, bro? Estid is a generational hater, but like, I can fix it. There you go. That's ABD canon now. I can fix Estid. Which is the complete opposite of Ida, who accepts everyone as equals from the start. That's why she's boring. Estid seems to be super into a One Piece version of Feng Shui, whose foundation is in the flow of Qi or energy. Feng Shui helps arrange your space so that energy flows smoothly without getting stuck or overly chaotic. And you guys know how Qi is one of hockey's biggest inspirations, right? So Estid moving things around, shutting the windows will help lock in Harald's hockey in place. She even like comments on how Harald's spirit is leaking out. Considering how Loki seems to already have an understanding of the highest level of hockey, his mother being knowledgeable about earth and wind arts might be the cause for it. While Estid stayed in the royal castle moving things around, King Harald kept sailing the seas, forging connections and even giving humans Elbaf's advanced navigation tech to make their journeys better. Because back in these times, the One Piece world was even more in the dark ages when it came to sea travel. On his journey, Harald even formed diplomatic ties to the Ryugu kingdom of the fishmen. 63 years ago, while Harald was out at sea, Queen Estid finally gave birth to a baby, because apparently it takes around 20 years of blanks for Harald to bore a child, bro. What is this? This is the second time that happened. First time, we can excuse that, okay? But second time, that's a pattern now. But this child would be none other than Loki. However, if it were up to Estid, Harald wouldn't even have known about his second son, as with one look, she was horrified to witness this demon baby who looked exactly like Muzan. Like, remember when Muzan became a big old baby in like the end of Demon Slayer? The baby looks like Muzan, bro. Anyways, Estid was horrified to see Loki, who resembled an actual demon, especially with his snake-like eyes. She orders everyone in the castle to tell Harald that she had a stillborn kid, calling him an actual monster, that he was cursed. She grabs Loki and throws him from the sun world down to the underworld. This kid was just born, by the way, like not even a day old. He was already rejected by his own mother. The Prince of Elbaf stretched his arms into the air, but no one was there to take those small hands in theirs. You know who will? Luffy will. Ballsy prediction was right again though, okay? Loki was rejected by everyone. However, even after being thrown down to the underworld, Loki survived and started to climb up the Atom Tree. Either way, I think Loki, as he exits the underworld, will be found by Harald's first wife, Ida, who will take care of him with no prejudice, as Loki's actual mother, Estid, passed away likely due to the trauma from the birth of Loki gave her. Thank you for watching this video, guys.